Sixers versus Celtics tonight. We have the injury report for you coming up in this video. Who's playing, who's not playing. We have a Kelly Oubre update, a Nick Batum update, and somebody makes the case that the Sixers should bench Tobias Harris.
Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.
Run It Back Nation, what is going on? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to Run It Back Philly. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, give us a like on the channel, and hit the notification bell. Let's get into the business. Sixers Celtics injury report. Keith Pompey on Sixers. Joel Embiid is listed as questionable for tomorrow's game against the Boston Celtics with an illness. He missed the last game against the Pelicans with the same illness. We thought it was just an excuse to rest him, but now he's still questionable with the illness, so maybe he actually has an illness. We'll continue to monitor that. Nick Nurse does expect him to play. Here's a quote from Nick Nurse. I'm going to say yes, I do expect him to be back. Let's be positive. Nick Nurse on Joel Embiid's availability for tomorrow's game against the Celtics via Pompey on Sixers. Nick Batum, hyperextended right index finger, and Jaden Springer, who was out a couple of games with the illness, are probable, so that's good. Nick Batum dislocated his finger a couple weeks ago, then hyperextended it last night, so we'll continue to monitor that, but probable, so he should play. It'd be nice to have Jaden Springer back in the lineup. Daniel House Jr., left quad bruise, and Kelly Oubre Jr., still with the fractured rib, are out, according to source. Kristaps Porzingis is ducking the smoke. I'm just kidding. He's not ducking the smoke. He dropped like 30 on us last time we played. Kristaps Porzingis is out for tomorrow's game between the Sixers and Celtics with a strained left calf. And my boy Romp is here to let you know that the Celtics just got tougher to beat because Porzingis is out, alluding to his belief that the Celtics are actually better without Kristaps Porzingis. So last week, Nick Nurse gave us a little hope and said that Kelly Oubre Jr. would travel with them on the road trip to New Orleans and not play New Orleans, but he could possibly play Friday against the Boston Celtics. Reports came out today that Kelly Oubre is not yet ready to return to play, so he will not be playing tonight versus the Boston Celtics, but is expected to return next week. The Sixers have missed Kelly Oubre in so many ways, it is impossible to explain. His length, his athleticism, his energy off the bench or in the starting lineup, just his tenacity, his defense to offense, his finishing ability, his shooting, his shot creation. It is understated and not being talked about around the NBA how large of a part Kelly Oubre was to the Philadelphia 76ers' success early on in the season. And we are about to get him back. We wanted it to be Friday against the Celtics, but rest up, Kelly. We don't want you to have any pain on the ribs. We'll see you next week, and it's go time. The Sixers are going to get right back to where they were in the beginning of the season when everyone was calling us the hottest team in the NBA. Kelly Oubre Jr. worked nonstop after Thursday's practice. He went back and forth from one-on-one full contact drills to cardio work. Here's some of the stuff that Keith Pompey put on Twitter for us. Can't wait to have you back, Kelly. Jaylen Brown talked about the Sixers-Celtics rivalry. It's an honor to be able to compete. It goes back from the Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell days.
I think so. I think the Celtics-Sixers rivalry goes back probably before I was even alive. So to be honest, it's an honor just to be able to compete and live in that honor and that tradition and that legacy, because it goes back from the Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell days.
It does go back that far, and lately, every NBA regular season, we basically know that we are going to end up playing the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. Hopefully this year is the year that we finally take the Boston Celtics out and get past the second round or the East, wherever we meet them, maybe in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is it the Sixers' year? Is it their time to finally step up and beat the Celtics in the playoffs? All right, man, let's talk about how bad Tobias Harris has actually been this season, even though he fooled everyone the first couple of games of the season, and ask ourselves, is it time to bench Tobias Harris? This is from Ben Dietrich on Twitter. Sixers are a plus 4.9 with Tobias Harris on the court. They are a plus 16.3 with him sitting. His uncharacteristic efficiency at the start of the season has vanished. I love that he put uncharacteristic efficiency. No reason to keep him in the starting lineup. Covington and Batum are clearly better options. Covington and Batum are both better defenders. Batum is a better passer, higher IQ, better glue guy. Covington's a better shooter. Tobias Harris is really just a mid-level ISO guy, and it doesn't really help you out very much. Even last night, they were down by 27, and we were running plays for Tobias Harris to take 20 seconds off of the shot clock to get into a turnaround mid-range jumper. And I'm like, these little 20-second two-pointers are not going to help you close this gap. If Tobias was scoring with Oubre efficiency, he'd be okay, but he's not. As a Sixer, this is his worst season shooting from three, his worst assist-to-turnover ratio, his worst rebound rate, his steals, blocks, and deflections are abysmal, which is why lineups with him and Maxey can't defend. It's actually a different dimension worse than we even realized. I just thought, he had a couple of bad games. He had 2 or 3 bad games. No. He is having the worst season of his career while fooling all of you. In the past, there were excuses to keep playing Tobias heavy minutes. His contract, the fantasy of trading him, lack of depth at forward, lack of second half-court scorer, his feelings. None of that matters or is the case anymore. Yeah, you don't have a serious lack of wing depth. You don't have a lack of scoring, especially with Kelly Oubre healthy and in the lineup. There's not much a reason that anybody can really think of to keep playing Tobias Harris heavy minutes. He's not helping your team. He's actually hurting your team. And there's just better options at wing. Not even trying to trash Tobias. He's doing what he always does. But if you have Joe and Maxey, you need perimeter stoppers, defensive disruption, volume three-point shooting, and connective passing. Definitely not more ISO scoring. Yeah, you need defensive stoppers. You need guys that are quick at rotating on the perimeter. You need guys that get up a lot of three-point shots and efficiently. And Tobias Harris is he's just not that guy. And I think on the last year of his contract, you can now consider benching Tobias Harris, and Nick Nurse might do so. You know, Doc Rivers was a player's coach. He probably wasn't going to do that. Nick Nurse might do that for the benefit of the Sixers team. Let me know in the comments what you think. Should the Sixers bench Tobias Harris? Although I don't even really think benching Tobias Harris is going to benefit anybody either. It's not really going to benefit Tobias Harris, as he, isn't really the player that creates his own shot in a lineup. It doesn't really benefit the Sixers to have him coming off the bench. If he's on the floor without Tyrese Maxey or Joel Embiid, he's kind of just ISO, force up a shot kind of guy. Maybe the answer is we finally, last year of Tobias Harris's massive contract, put him in a trade package. That's all I got, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Watch Sixers Celtics with us tonight on Playback TV, playback.tv/runningbackphilly. Download the app on your phone, open it, make an account. It's free, and join me and everyone else in the chat during the Sixers game. It's a lot of fun. And tune in for post-game live, myself and my boy Romp, right here on YouTube after the Sixers Celtics game. Be there. We out.